vamos a aprender o repasar verbos combinados o phrasal verbs con look.
Yeah,
Okay?
look. These phrasal verbs are common in the English language. You're going to hear them a lot.
Entre cada verbo que les presentamos vamos a usar segmentos de películas para que ejerciten el oído. Let's begin with the first one.
Look after. Look after.
Look after significa cuidar.
We use it to say that we're taking care of something or someone. I'm going to look after something. A good example is I look after my grandmother on weekends.
Can you look after the kids for a minute? And look after us like we've been looking after you for the past 5 years.
The next phrasal verb is
Look for. Look for. Look for.
look for significa buscar.
Yeah, you're trying to look for something. You're trying to find something. Like a good example would be like I need to look for my phone.
O I'm looking for my phone.
That's even better. I'm looking for my phone. Yep.
You have to look for the ball.
Nobody's gonna look for us on the train.
The next one.
Look forward to. Look forward to.
Look forward to significa esperar con ansias, ¿ok? Cuando uno está a la expectativa de algo.
Yeah, you're excited about something that's about to happen. Like I look forward to going on vacation. You know, it's something, I look forward to the party. You're excited about something that's going to happen.
I look forward to my day in court.
I look forward to our time together, Miss Moneypenny.
Ok, número 4, number 4.
Number 4, look up. Look up. Look up.
Look up significa o se usa para decir que estás buscando información.
Right. This isn't the physical act of looking up. This is you looking for information, like on the internet. I looked up the word in the dictionary. You searched for the word in the dictionary. So it's to find information.
Just look up the word handsome in the dictionary.
Look up bookstores in Springdale, Wisconsin.
And now, a variant, ¿ok? Una variante, a variant.
Look up to. Look up to.
Look up to se usa para decir admirar.
Yeah, you respect somebody, you admire somebody. You look up to your brother, your older brother. I look up to my older brother. I look up to my parents. So it's a sign of saying, hey, I respect somebody or I admire that person.
Who do you look up to?
Your friends wouldn't mind because they look up to us.
The next one, not a very positive one.
Right, so we look up to something, right? The next one is we look down on. We look down on.
Look down on es como decir que se siente uno con un complejo de superioridad.
Yeah, you think you're better.
No
Yeah.
es positivo.
Right, it's not a positive thing. When you look down on somebody, you think you're better than they are. And you know, that's not cool, yeah? An example would be, he looks down on people who don't have a college degree.
You so perfect you can look down on me?
He thinks I look down on him, which isn't the case at all.
The next one is
Look out. Look out. Look out.
look out es como decir cuidado.
Yeah, you want to be aware of something. Something's going on that you need to pay attention to. So look out. Look out. A car's coming.
Look out, Brock! Look out below!
Ok, moving on.
Okay, ready? Look over. Look over.
Look over significa revisar o se usa como revisar.
Yeah, but look over is also quickly to look over something. You're going to quickly go over the figures. You know what I mean? So it's something that normally means you quickly just review something. Look over.
Examinar,
Yeah,
examen.
examine. Yeah, but not really in depth. Yeah.
Claro, no, sí, no con profundidad.
A good example would be the manager looked over the report. You know, he made sure it was okay.
He wanted to look over the accounts.
Well, you might want to look over that budget again.
The next one,
Look into. Look into.
look into es investigar.
Right. Like you're trying to investigate something, see why something's happening. You know, you might be at your work and your boss wants you to look into something, or the police, they might be looking into a crime.
So we started looking into the deal.
The victim's mother asked me to look into the case.
Okay, moving on to the next one.
Look around. Look around.
Look around es como decir mirar a tu alrededor, ¿ok? Mira a tu alrededor. Look around.
Yeah, look around. Explore. Go see what's going on. I know what Cynthia and I like to do. We like to go look around the store, you know? Go see what's on sale, see what's out there. Look around, explore.
Well, take a look around the house.
I'll take a look around town.
The next one, we're getting to the end.
Yeah.
The next one,
Look back on. Look back on.
look back on es como decir reflexionar, recordar.
Yeah,
okay?
you remember your childhood, you know, you remember college, you look back on things. You hear people say, I look back on my childhood. I look back on my childhood with joy. They enjoy the past, you know, or it's just meaning to look back on, to reflect.
More like nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, the good old days, you know, to look back on and remember things in your past.
Don't look back on your life with regret.
Comfortably and look back on this as the great big adventure that it is.
The last one.
Yeah. Look through. Look through.
Look through es similar a look over, pero, o sea, es como decir ojear, examinar, así, como por encima.
Right. Look through is like physically going through a book or a report. Yeah, I'm going to look through that report and make sure it's okay.
But not really in depth.
No. It's also like look over, you know, it's like, everything appears to be good. You know?
Claro.
So look through the report and see if you can find any errors.
Ojear. O sea, no estás no estás leyendo en profundidad, pero estás ojeando a ver si está todo en orden.
Yeah. A good example would be like, I looked through the magazine while I was waiting. You know, when you're in a doctor's office and you're not really reading the magazine, you're just looking at the pictures, going through it. Yeah?
Have you had a chance to look through the paperwork?
Can I get you some coffee while you look through the book?
Ok, te vamos a dar 3 ejercicios rápidos para completar con uno de estos verbos combinados o phrasal verbs, ¿ok? A ver.
Right? I always, my parents. I always look up to my parents. He, his old photos and felt nostalgic. He looked back on his old photos and felt nostalgic.
We are a new apartment. We are looking for a new apartment. ¿Cómo te fue?
How did you do?
Algo importante que tienen que recordar es que los verbos compuestos o phrasal verbs se pueden conjugar, ¿ok? Así que si van a decir algo en pasado usando un verbo compuesto, tienen que conjugarlo al pasado. So if we're going to conjugate a verb to the past tense, we would say, I looked back on, ¿ok? O I'm looking for, I look for, I'm looking for. So we conjugate, you know, in the tense that what we're trying to say.
Right, yeah.
Y si lo van a hacer en futuro, if you're going to use future tense, I will look for my keys.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I will, okay?
Yeah, I will be looking for a new job.
Okay, what examples can you write in the comments?
Yeah, leave us some comments below, and also tell us if there's some other phrasal verbs you would like us to talk about.
Nos vemos en la próxima.
See you the next time.